Questions, just kidding.
No.
Y'all give me the hook. I left my phone on the table, so let me know when our time's up. But first, I want to say thanks. I look around this room, we've got a lot of Rotary friends who helped me get to the Capitol and definitely, talk to me about things to focus on. So thank you for getting me there and keeping me focused on stuff that's important. A couple of things that I wanted to mention. Sue and I had a term last term with 23, 24, and then we had a special session. There was a 500-page court order on redistricting. We were both on the redistricting committee and worked on all those maps. So that was a busy term last term, and we both ran for the election, as y'all saw us out there doing. So we had 2 years of special session re-election. I think this term probably took more out of me than, or this year, 2025, than last term. And I think there were a couple of reasons for that. You had Washington switch parties, so you had the whiplash of that, and that had people stirred up. You had a bunch of senators running for higher office, and that just changed the political dynamic at the Capitol. And then you had just a real charged up partisan environment. A lot of the stuff that happens on TV and in Washington, that had people all geared up in Georgia, and so we get the bottom line, the deliverable of that. And so Sue and I are down there trying to represent Gwinnett County and solve problems, advocate for our area that's the state's largest school system. And you got a lot of folks who were focused on primary election in 2026 or what's on TV about in Washington. So we fight hard to do things like the tax rate, regulatory climate, schools, public safety. But it's a fight to keep things focused on that, and I'm grateful for House leadership really being stable and disciplined about trying to stay focused on the things y'all sent me there to work on. But a couple of things I'm proud that we got done: school safety. Last fall, y'all remember that tragedy at Appalachia High School. That might as well have been a Gwinnett school. It's literally just a couple miles over the line in Barrow County. A lot of the people who live in that area grew up in Gwinnett or used to live in Gwinnett. Holt Persinger and Chuck Epstration represent that area. Holt grew up in Duluth. Chuck's mom taught at Peachtree Ridge, so he's got he still lives in Gwinnett. So they went to work working on school safety. The Speaker of the House immediately after that tragedy said, "We're going to take care of school safety." We have this training called biennial at UGA after every election. When I was there, I worked on the Safer Hospitals Act last term, and Sue helped get that passed and went through judiciary non-civil. I appreciate her help on that. But some teacher groups asked me to work on some school safety issues following up from the Safer Hospitals Act. And our focus was on criminal laws, that component of it. So terroristic threats, if you make a terroristic threat, I'm going to blow up the school or shoot up the school. Or if you're a parent and you're arming a kid who's got all signs of violence, then you're going to get prosecuted too, enhancing what happened to that dad in the Appalachia tragedy. So we started working on that bill, and when the Speaker and Chuck Epstration, Holt Persinger, the House Education Chair, who's Brooks Coleman's successor, Chris Irwin, as we were looking at that, basically my criminal stuff, the end of the bill on school safety's got that in there, so proud to get that in there. But school safety bill, I've looked around the country, I think it's the best school safety bill in the country. And I'm proud that a lot of it, we have made statewide what Gwinnett County's already doing. Gwinnett County has an app where the kids can report suspicious behavior. They have panic buttons, they have school resource officers, they have checkpoints with safety so people can't just wander into a school. And we're giving resources and kind of a blueprint for every school in the state to implement the high standards we have in Gwinnett. So we heard from Tony Lockhart a couple of months ago, the Gwinnett School Police Chief, and I'm proud that all schools in the state will get the benefit of what we've had for quite some time here in Gwinnett. So again, it's about a 70-page bill, really strong on school safety. I'm sorry it took the tragedy in Appalachia to get the focus statewide of enhancing school safety, but for the benefit of our 2 million school kids, 250,000 teachers and school employees, and all the parents and grandparents who care about them and spouses, those teachers and school employees. I think it's an improvement in Georgia, and I was proud to be there when the governor signed a couple weeks ago. So we got that done. And, you know, as I mentioned, Holt Persinger, you know, he grew up in Gwinnett. He represents Sparrow County. He's out in the real world. I went to Winder recently. You know, I'm here, Sue and I are giving our legislative update here at Rotary Club. I passed by Moose Club in Winder, so you know, districts are different. So you got to remember that. One thing I learned last term is there's not another Gwinnett County in Georgia. There's probably not another Gwinnett County in America. We got 1 million people here. Chris McGahee, Teresa invited me to an event to go some legislation in blue. Chris McGahee pointed out there are only 50 counties in America that have 1 million people. And Gwinnett County is one of them. So we are blessed here in this community, and I'm proud to fight in the community. All right, school safety. Secondly, Sue mentioned the income tax. We also are still fighting the fight on property taxes. In addition to the value index that some jurisdictions have opted into, here in Gwinnett County for the second time, we've got a homestead increase. It's going to be on the ballot in 2026. It will add more money for everybody, for all homeowners. We've got 125,000 homeowners in Gwinnett. It will also cover all school employees. I ran that definition of school employees by the schools last term, but the tax commissioner said there were some employees who weren't included in it. So we've now covered all school employees, including Buford, in that. So that's on the ballot next year. Help us get the word out on that there's more tax relief that Gwinnett homeowners can get through approving that ballot measure. And that had not been done, remember, last time since 1988. So 1988 to 2024, we had 0 tax relief in Gwinnett. We're now getting a second round of it through that referendum next year.
And really, that's all Matt. I mean, Matt went